Hello, I am going to give a little tutorial on some tips and tricks of how to organize your Gmail account. A lot of our students talk about how overwhelming email is, that they get a lot of emails that they never get a chance to read, or they just wake up to too many and they don't know what to do. So I totally understand. If you guys think you're getting a lot of emails, think about me in the office. I get my personal emails and office emails. So that is a lot of email for me to manage. But you can do it just like me. And there are just a few different ways in which we can make this experience a little easier for you. So the first thing you should note, of course, is that we're using Gmail. Google has a lot of really cool features in their email system that can help you better organize your email, better organize your life. So part of the tip is really to go and check out all the different features that Gmail has. So I have a kind of like a dummy account that I'm using here to show you what your Gmail will sort of look like, right? This is just a regular Gmail that I've had various people send some emails to show you what it will look like when you log in. So the first thing that you'll want to note is that we have a particular style, a type of setup here. The one we have right now is default. So the default setup has you using various different tabs like primary, social, and promotions, okay? You do not have to keep it this way. And I'm going to show you how you can change the type that you use so that you can organize it the way that you want. The other thing that we're going to talk about are labels. Labels are very important, and also filters, okay? So if you go over to this little cog right here in the right-hand corner and click it, go down to settings, you'll open up your settings page. And in the settings page, you can see a lot of different options and how you can customize your email. So these little tabs up here will help you out in the different ways you can customize it. So the first thing that I want to point out is the maximum page size. Currently, right now, we have it so that it shows 50 conversations per page, 50 emails per page. So you can change that to as many or as little as you'd like. I'm going to keep it at 50. The idea is if you have it at 25 or 10, you'll only see the first 25 or 10 emails, and then you'll have to go back a few pages to keep seeing your emails. Or you could have it more like 50 or 100, and you'll see a lot more of your emails. Now, if you are a fantastically organized person like Scott Parson, you won't have to have 50 emails showing at one time because your emails are always caught up. But maybe you're more like me. I always have more emails unread than I would like, so I keep mine at 50. You can also use, if you go down here, the star system, and we will talk about how to use the star system most effectively. You can change the different stars that you use. So currently the default is 1 star. But you could have 4 stars, you could have all stars, you could have even something in between. You can just take a star that's not in use and drag it up into the in use section, okay? So the way the stars work is you will use these stars to sort of tag or indicate important emails in different ways. So if you were to use, let's say, we'll use these 4 stars, right? Technically these 2 at the bottom right here, these aren't actually stars, but we call them stars. Maybe your orange star is for emails from professors, and your blue stars, emails from home, right? Maybe you use a check mark to show when you've completed something or answered the email appropriately, right? Maybe you use a red bang or exclamation point to show that this is really important, or maybe even you don't understand what's happening and you need some help, okay? You can make these mean anything that you want. It's a system that you can use for yourself. I really suggest using star systems if you are looking for an easy, simple way to make some of your emails stand out for you, okay? So the other thing we're going to show are labels. Remember, labels. So I'm going to go up here to the tab that says labels. Click that. And to create a new label, they have all these regular labels, but they might not be very important to you, okay? So to create a new label, go down here to say create new labels, okay? And I'm going to create a few labels. I'm going to create one that says student org, create. I'm going to create a new label that says international services, right? Create. And then I'm also going to show you how to nest a label. So I'm going to create one that says AASU. AASU is a different type of student org, right? It's a kind of student org. So maybe you're part of 5 different student orgs or 3 different student orgs. Even if you put it in your student org label, you need to know which org it is. Which organization are we talking about? If we're talking about AASU, then we know. So the parent label is student orgs, right? Because it is a student org. And that way you can really effectively label your emails so that when you go back to look at them, it makes a lot of sense. You're finding things in the same group. Now you can create your own labels, whatever you want. I do suggest that you have one for important information or emails from me or from Linda Nice or maybe from LaShonda, depending on if you're international or domestic, right? But you can create them for anything. You could create them for specific classes. You could create them for specific groups, anything that you need, okay? So the next thing that I'm going to show you is inbox. Remember I said that your inbox had a different type. You could have different types. So like I said, right now we have that default inbox, which has, if you look, those different tabs, right? And it shows you up here what those different tabs can be, okay? All right. Now you could change the type. So you could change it so that it is important first. That means that as you continue to use your email, Gmail will notice which ones you're opening, which ones you're responding to, what's important to you, and it will push those to the top, and then everything else will go underneath it. Or you could choose unread first. So if you are a long-time user and you haven't really kept up on all of your email, now you've got unread emails that are pages back, and this will push all of those forward so that you can sweep out your email. You can choose starred first, right? So you're using those starred systems and it will show those. Or you can use priority inbox. I really like priority inbox and I think it can be very helpful because it first puts your important, the things that you are reading and need, and those things that have just come through that are unread at the beginning. Then it will put anything that is starred, right? So unread and starred. You can add a section if you'd like, and then it will put everything else, right? So you can choose the different type of inbox, play around with this. You can, customize them. You can add, different filters to them, whatever you want. Right now we're just going to change it to default again, just so you can see. We'll save our changes. Make sure you save your changes. Okay. I'm going to go back to settings. The last thing I'm going to show you are filters. Filters are very, very useful. If you are trying to find or make something stand out from your emails, like maybe if you're an international student, you always want to get your emails from Linda. You always want to get your emails from Julie. And you do not want those to be buried underneath whatever you're getting from everyone else on campus. You can create a filter so that email, those people will come up first. So right now we have one, and I'm going to actually delete it so I can show you how I made it. And delete this filter. Okay, so I suggest you have a filter for me. If you're an international student, if you're a Dimensional Word Scholar, you might want to put in a filter for LaShonda so that you're always getting your Dimensional Word Scholar notifications right before anything else. So to create a filter, just create a new filter. Okay, I suggest using the From section to put in the important person that you are trying to get the information from. So we'll put in my email. Oops. There we go. You could also do different things, like if the subject matter says, you know, Dimension Award Scholar, or if it says visa information, right? And that will make it pull out. You could have it use keywords, but right now we're just going to use the from, okay? Create filter with this search, okay? Now, we want to know what that filter is going to do, right? So because we're trying to make this person stand out from the rest of your emails, I suggest you do something like star it. You could apply a label, right? And you choose the label. We'll choose international services, right? You could always mark as important. That'll push it up as well, right? Always mark as important, right? And then you will create your filter, okay? Now, right when you go back to your inbox, all of the ones before you created that filter will not have those different things on them. But as soon as you get a new email, it will have those different things. So I'm going to pause and send an email, and I will show you how it looks different. I sent myself an email, and as you can see, it comes to the top. It's starred, it's marked as important or priority, and it has a label that says international services, okay? So, of course, this can be very helpful for things like if Scott is sending you information about housing, right? Scott Parsons, the assistant director, or if Anissa is sending something about housing, if Linda is sending something, Linda Nice is sending something about, you know, visa work, if I'm sending you something, you know, about programs, or about making sure that you are attending a session that you need to go to, if your professor is sending you information about your homework. There's so many different ways in which you can use these features, right? You also could have something like AASU has movie night. Maybe you're really into attending their movie night, and you want to make sure that something like that is brought up to the top so you don't miss it, right? So you could make a label for that. Okay, so those are a few ways in which you can organize your email. I suggest you fool around with it, find out what works for you. Some people like to use just filters, some people like to use stars and filters and labels, some people only use labels. It really is up to you to make sure that it works for your life. The idea is just to get it to work so that you don't miss anything important, because we really don't like having to scramble around and, you know, feel like we've missed something important and you're not going to get the work that you need done. Nobody likes feeling like that. So if you have any questions, I will continue with another tutorial on some other features of Gmail. Thanks.